All right, race fans, welcome to TurnLeftTV. Be ready for some high-speed action tonight. Let's step on the gas. All right, race fans, welcome to Bristol, baby. This is TurnLeftTV, and I'm your host, Heath Johnson. The Saturday Showdown series hits the short track, Bristol Motor Speedway, for a 200-lap race. It's race number 2 in this Saturday Showdown series, and we got a lot of stock car drivers out here tonight. Got a specialist out on the track here tonight. Who's going to take home the victory? This is going to be a difficult one. 200 laps to settle the score here at Bristol, and it's live right here on TurnLeftTV. Well, some classic short track action headed your way in the Saturday Showdown series tonight. It's High Octane Racing League, 200 laps at Bristol, and it's TurnLeftTV. All right, hey, thank you so much for checking us out here on TurnLeftTV. Got a good one here for you tonight, or today, depending on your region of the world. This is Bristol Motor Speedway, and I'm your commentator, Heath Johnson, broadcaster, commentator here at TurnLeftTV, owner of High Octane Racing League. Saturday Showdown Series, round number 2, Bristol Motor Speedway. Hey, by the way, I want to say good luck to all those folks who are competing in that 24-hour event. I think it's a big GT3 event out there, so a lot of the guys that normally race with us on Saturdays are doing their stints in that, so we want to wish them great luck. But here we got a score to settle here with Bristol Motor Speedway tonight. And should be a fun one. Got about 5 minutes left in the practice session. Take a look at the 82 Tim Lansbury. Today's race is brought to you by EliteHostingUSA.com. If you want an rFactor 2 server for your league, there are 3 self-managed server packages available. WordPress hosting, online store hosting, VPS hosting, and shared web hosting also available through EliteHostingUSA.com. And of course, that's who provides our servers here at High Octane Racing League. Don't forget to join us over at HighOctaneRacing.net. Quick link to our Discord server if you'd like to join up and race with us. We do all kinds of stuff, man. We do stock cars, we do GT3, we do Indy cars. Getting ready to announce another road course series coming up. And we have a lot of fun here at High Octane Racing League. Been going on since 2001. Still going strong here in 2023. Come on out and join us. Also, thank you for coming in and watching the race today here on TurnLeftTV, whether you're watching it live or on replay. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, smash the bell, and follow those links down in the description of my of the race here at the broadcast. And we have the Extra Life Children's Miracle Network Hospitals charity link there. Please, if you'd like to make a donation to charity, that's a great one. Helps unfortunate kids that are suffering from illness and so forth out. So you play games and earn money for these kids. Also, we got the SimLab website. I'm an affiliate through them. If you're interested in a sim rig or some sim equipment, please give those guys a look and follow my link over there. Appreciate that. And thanks to all those folks who have purchased stuff through SimLab by using my link. And I have a PayPal donation link, too, up in the banner of the channel, also in the description of this race, if you'd like to make a donation. But I'm just happy you're here. Share my videos with all your friends on any social media platform where you can share YouTube videos. You're more than welcome to share mine here at TurnLeftTV. Take a look at the schedule here in the Showdown series. We're doing every other week. We're sort of sharing this space with the GT3 series. So tonight at Bristol, next week or 2 weeks from now, we'll be at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Oh, the lady Charlotte on March the 18th. In Phoenix Raceway, Watkins Glen, little road course action, and finishing out that season at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Everybody's going to come over for beers after the race. That's the schedule here in the Showdown series. A little bit later tonight, we'll be in the Saturday Night Thunder at Martinsville. Some more Cup Series racing headed your way. If you'd like to join us for some short track action, 160 laps, race number 9 of the season. And should be a fun one. Actually, it should be race number 8, I believe. But nonetheless, 160 laps at Martinsville, man. Great beating and banging here in the Saturday Night Thunder series. This thing's been going on since 2001. And this series is what started it all off at High Octane Racing League. GT3 series will be back in action next week, right in this time slot. They'll be at Zandvoort for a 60-minute race, and of course it'll be live right here on TurnLeftTV. Walls start at 2 p.m., and I'll probably go live somewhere around, there's a pretty decent little qualification session there, so I'll go live about 2 p.m. And don't want to miss that. That's Zandvoort. It's race number 3 in a High Octane Racing League GT3 series, and it'll be live on March the 11th right here. Bushwhacker Series had a great race last night. One caution flag. And congratulations to Claudio Bardelli Jr. for getting that win last night in the Bushwhacker Series. Next week, they'll be at Atlanta Motor Speedway for race number 10, the final race of the season. And we have a really tight points battle. You've got about 4 guys that can win the points championship at the last race. So really tight 4-way battle for the championship. We'll be at Atlanta Motor Speedway, a 100-lap race. It'll be live right here on TurnLeftTV on March the 10th. That's Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Looks like we are headed over to the qualification session. We'll take a look at the session results here as far as practice. Paul Brown lightning fast there with a 14.724. Preston Hassel second, Tim Lansbury third. John Stanley fourth, Stanislav Pavlov is fifth. You see Gordon Carter, Todd Robillard, Will Dunbar, Dennis Unichin, and Jim Willis rounding out the top 10. Take a look at the track here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Oh no, I didn't do that. Oh, see, you know, it was flawless. The broadcast was flawless. Here, let's get Bristol up there. Oh my God. We'll get the right track up there. That's what happens, man. That's what happens. Take your eye off the ball. There we go. There's Bristol Motor Speedway. Well, we got it. Wasn't Kansas. That was last night. I got a lot to do, man. Half a mile, concrete oval, high banked. Banking in the corner, 24 to 28 degrees. In the straights, pretty considerable banking there. 6 to 10 degrees of banking. And, man, it feels like you're going, you are balls out the whole way around this track. It is tough getting on pit lane. So kind of an interesting entry in the pit lane. So this is a fun track. Everybody knows Bristol, that knows stock car racing. And it should be a fun one here tonight. Like Gordon Carter's finished up his qualification attempt. Right now, third on the grid. Got Robillard in the 9 car. Good to see that 9 car getting some action. So Robillard in the Hooters sponsor machine. 15.002. The 7.53 is the time to beat. Oh, and contacts coming off the turn. 7.89 though, faster lap, but a little right side damage to that machine. Dennis Uderton in the 47 car. Right now, 9th. What lap number 2 does for him. Went off the turn. 15.391 for Uderton. $14.935, now 6th on the grid for Dennis Uderton. Look at Stanislav Pavlov in his 62 car. Time to beat 14.753. Here we go, 50.185 is that first lap. Second lap for Stanislav. 14.780. Stanislav loves these stock cars, man. And now second on the grid. We'll start P2. Looks like Preston Hassel is the top time. It will qualify in P1. So congratulations to Preston on earning the pole. So look at that. We got a Ford at the top of the grid. 3 Chevys, another Ford. Chevy in 6th. And then look at that. 7th, 8th, and 9th, all Fords. And Jim Willis, the Chevy in 10th. Looks like he did not qualify, I don't believe. Ritsky Novar joining us in the chat session. Good to see Ritsky out here. And I'll tell you what, man, I'm going to get my pick in here now. Get my pick in early here to win this race. I'm going to go for the easy pick here, I think. And that is Paul Brown. Who I think is going to win this race today? Paul Brown. Always good at the short tracks. And best of luck to him tonight. Take a look at a side-by-side. Make sure that's working. Looks like it is. We got Paul Brown there pictured on the right side. Gonna add the Lucky Dog logo. I don't know what we got going on there. There we go. That'll work. He's not the lucky dog. He's the pole winner. Probably get a logo for that, huh? Man, I'm such a Bush League operation. Just a low-budget operation. That's all I am here at TurnLeftTV. Just low budget. I need a professional team to guide me or fire me, one or the other. Got about 3 minutes left of the qualification session. These guys are actually going through the driver's meeting as we speak. So, about a minute and a half left in quals, and we will kick it over to the warm-up session. And again, I want to say thank you for joining us here on TurnLeftTV. How about that? Oval drivers in this great short oval. Hello! Oh, come on out, man. We know you love ovals as well. We know you love ovals. I know who you are. It looks like just under a minute left here in quals. We'd like to encourage you to come back over to highoctaneracing.net. Join us on Discord. Click on that link and join us. Appreciate that. You'll get updates of certainly what the schedule updates are, what series we happen to be running. Good schedule there on the front page. And also quick links to each of our series. Find out what's in action. Right now it's the Saturday Showdown series, GT3 series, Thunder Cup, and Bushwhacker series. And you'll find out also whose practice times are, where they are on the grid throughout the week. Of course, current point standings as well. So it looks like quals have officially ended, and appreciate you coming out here, and let's get this party started. right, we're back. Thank you for joining us here on TurnLeftTV. Tonight, we're at Bristol Motor Speedway for 150 laps. It's race number 2 of a short 6-race season. Every other week, we do Saturday Showdown series, sharing this series with the GT3 series time slot. So next week, we'll be doing some GT3 racing. And today, we're at Bristol for some short track, classic short track action here. And I want to say thank you for coming in and spending some time here at TurnLeftTV. We're going to take a look at the season standings coming into tonight's race. Paul Brown with the win is top of the grid. Josh Brink, who's not here today, is second. Alexander Mashkoff out there on the track right now is third. Sean Jacobs on vacation watching his son play baseball is fourth. Tim Lansbury fifth. Dennis Udichin sixth. Stanislav Pavlov is seventh. Mata and Ritsky are actually competing in a 24-hour event today, so best of luck to them. They're 8th and 9th respectively, and Revian Gumular is 9th. That's the top 10 in points. Let's take a look at the qualification results. How about that? Preston Hassel, the 27 car, qualifies P1. Stanislav Pavlov qualifies in the second position. Todd Roblard third. Paul Brown qualifies in the fourth position, and Tim Lansbury will start fifth. Gordon Carter qualifies sixth in the 56 car. Dennis Udichin in the 47 will qualify in the seventh position. John Stanley qualifies eighth. Will Dunbar ninth. Jim Willis will start in P10. And Meshkoff, missing qualifications, will start in the 11th position. Well, I'm going to give you my keys to the race here tonight at Bristol. Limit the aggressive driving. I'm looking out tonight, and I think we're going to have no problems with that. We got some really veteran drivers out on the track here at Bristol setting the example. Find a rhythm here tonight. And this is very much a rhythm track. The way that you get through the corners is very much set up like a rhythm. Set up your passes as well. Gonna have to work on some guys, maybe wear them out a little bit, wait for them to make a mistake, and then get around. Tire management, though, it's easy with this track being really fast. Concrete, tough, abrasive track, it's easy to use up your tires, and those guys that are able to save their tires are going to be the ones that rise to the top. Have good pit stops, too. This is a funky pit lane, and you can't speed here, man. 35 miles an hour. That is snail's pace compared to what's going on out on the track. So we got to make good pit stops. Definitely do not speed. Get on and off pit lane without any problems, and I suggest you we're probably going to have some green flag pit stops here. So those are my keys to the race at Bristol Motor Speedway tonight. Got about 3 minutes left in the warm-up session. Take a look at Stanislav Pavlov. making a pit stop here. Sort of give you an idea of what it's like to get around the track here or get on and off pit lane. And you do have to stay to the right on pit lane until you reach your pit stall. Stanislav has a lot of stock car experience, so he's showing us how it's done, although not going all the way to his pit stop. You get the idea. Jim Willis in the 53 Black Rifle Coffee Company machine. Don't forget, a little bit later tonight, we'll be at Martinsville Speedway for a 160-lap race. Great short track, and it's a tough one. And I tell you what, this Cup Series is a lot of fun, man. This thing's been going on since 2001, and it is the one that started it all off on Saturday nights, just doing pickup races. I remember joining High Octane Racing League from another league, and they were just getting started in NASCAR 4, doing some pickup races. And been there ever since. Now, here 2023, the High Octane Racing League Saturday Night Thunder still going strong at 160 laps here at Martinsville. Racing starts at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's coming up later tonight. Ritzky says the race was red flagged for unknown reasons. My gosh, man. Like I've ever red flagged a race. I'm going to let you know if I do and why I do it. So that's for sure. But good to see Ritzky. Glad you were joining us here tonight. Don't forget to pick your winner. Well, boys and girls, are you ready to go? I'm ready to go. This is a Saturday Showdown series. 200 laps at Bristol. A little 2018 stock car action. It's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of great oval drivers out here tonight as well. So here we go. It's Bristol, baby. Take a look at the starting order here. Preston Hassel. Oh, wait a minute. What happened there? Whoa. I guess they didn't like Preston. He didn't going to advertise his sponsor. There you go. Preston Hassel qualifies on the pole with Stanislav Pavlov starting second. Robillard and Brown will start in row 2. Row number 3 will be Tim Lansbury and Gordon Carter. Dennis Unichin, John Stanley, row number 4. Jim Willis, Will Dunbar, and Jim Willis start in 9th and 10th. And Alexander Mashkov, the 57, will start 11th. So don't forget, man, what my keys to the race here tonight are, man, just don't get any damage on your car. Don't cause wrecks. How about that? Limit that aggressiveness. Find a rhythm, very much a rhythm track. Set up your passes, manage those tires, and make good pit stops. Those are my keys to the race here at Bristol tonight. And Preston Hassel will lead the field to take the green flag. These guys have got a lot of laps in practice. Some of these guys have been here for a while today. Getting some laps in. Hassel in the 27 brought his setup in. This Twix sponsor machine sitting in P1. Pavlov also 62 car, man. He loves stock cars. Talk to him quite often. He's the rocker in the field. So here we go. Here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Pace cars off. And we're off here at the Showdown Series. And Stanislav did not get off to a good start. Now falling back there and being challenged for P3. Pavlov now trying to fight back on the outside line as a 62. Fighting back on the inside. Now Pavlov holding on to the third position. Battling here early on as Jim Willis and Will Dunbar having a little bit of a disagreement. Also, Utichin gets around. Utichin had a battle there with John Stanley. It's like John Stanley got that spot. Go back here and look at this. Is John Stanley using the outside line, getting by Dennis Utichin. John Stanley now up to the 7th position as he makes that pass on Dennis. Looking at the front of Dennis Utichin's machine at John Stanley is Stanley pulling off that pass. Preston Hassel is the leader, and he is going out like gangbusters. And I got to wonder if he's going to get reeled back in. On Robillard in the 9 car, running in the 2nd position. Just behind him is Stanislav Pavlov. Aboard here with the number 9 Hooter sponsor machine. Robillard, a little bit of a surprise here today. Didn't normally run on Saturdays with us, but the weather is frightening today. You might have the day off as well. So Stanislav Pavlov running in 3rd, looking out of the back of Todd Robillard's machine. Tim Lansbury in the 82, running in that Skyline Chili Ford Mustang. Kind of out there by himself right now as we got a little bit of a fight here. Gordon Carter and John Stanley battling. Gordon Carter going to give up that spot to John Stanley. Now Gordon Carter has to tuck in. He is now back to the 7th position as John Stanley starting to move up here. Preston Hassel still continuing to lead, but slowly and methodically that 9 car closing in. The 9 of Todd Robillard moving in and a 62 in tow. Stanislav Pavlov is running in 3rd. Take a look at Alexander Meshkov. Didn't get a lot of practice time here at Bristol. Right now running in the 11th position. This guy's usually a long run driver, man. He doesn't really get involved in too much stuff unless somebody's blocking the road for him. But right now, just taking his time here, trying to close in on Jim Willis at Black Rifle Coffee Company, number 53 car. And he is running in the 10th position. Quiet run here so far for Paul Brown. I think he might be talking about some long-range strategy here. And we got a battle for the race lead, I believe. Look at this. This is a tight battle here. 3-way battle for the race lead. 27 car is the leader. Pavlov is now working the high line. And he gets around Robillard. So Stanislav Pavlov makes that pass on Todd Robillard and now sets his sights on Preston Hassel. Preston Hassel looking out of the back of his machine at Stanislav. Pavlov running in P2. Dennis Utichin in the 47 car. Right now running in the 8th position. Now, I don't know if he actually got, he must have lost connection there and some information that he might have given up a position. It looks like he is running in P8. Will Dunbar back in the 9th position. We'll go back and look at that pass that Stanislav Pavlov on the outside getting by Todd Robillard. Taking over that spot. So Pavlov on the move and now putting some pressure on the race leader. It took him a little bit to pull off that pass, but good clean pass by the 62 car. And good racing there. That is a clinic on how to drive here at Bristol. Preston Hassel is the leader in the 27 car. Stanislav Pavlov has not let him get away. Now Preston went out to a pretty big lead, and now these guys are sort of reeling him back in. Although I will say that Robillard has fallen off just a little bit. Not that he is falling back a ton, but about a third of a straightaway right now as we start to see a battle heat up here for P1. On board here with Stanislav Pavlov as he's working on the back of the 27 car. 24 laps in, caution free so far. And look at this, Pavlov now working on the bottom line. And you got to be careful too, man, because you remember the guy in front of you probably has older tires as well, right? And used up those tires a little bit. Plus, it's easy to use up your stuff trying to get around somebody. But Pavlov knows full well how that works. Take a look at there. Tim Lansbury, Paul Brown, and John Stanley having a fight right now. Paul Brown in the 70 car getting by Tim Lansbury. Now to the back of John Stanley, out of the back you see John Stanley also getting by. So Lansbury now falling back to the 8th position as John Stanley in that Stanley Tools Mustang making a pass to get by Lansbury. We'll take a look at that pass that John Stanley, he had to work on this as well on board here with him as he gets by the 82 car. So good battling there between the 70, the 12, and the 82. A lot of stock car experience right there. Guys showing us how it's done. Well, Preston Hassel has been able to, kind of stretch that back out a little bit. Maybe Pavlov has used up his stuff moving up through traffic. And now Preston, he is a long run driver. There's no doubt about that. That is his strength. He loves to set up a car. Does a lot of setup building for us. And he knows a lot about setting up a car to drive on a long run. And right now it's showing. They reeled him back in a little bit, but now he's starting to pull back away. And we're starting to see a little battle here heat up between the 62 and the 9. Robillard in the 9 car. That Hooter sponsor machine all over the back of the 62 right now. And he's diving down to the inside, giving it a peek. So Stanislav Pavlov in a hornet's nest right now with Todd Robillard. And it looks like Pavlov might have gotten into the wall several times, so he might have some right side damage. Well, I suspected he was driving this car a little bit hard, but reporting that maybe there's some right side damage on the 62. And look who is in town. And that is the 70 car Mountain Dew sponsor machine of Paul Brown, and he's all over the back of the 9 now. Jim Willis here in the 53 car, now closing in on Will Dunbar. Oh, man, that's tight right there. tight coming off the turn. And wow, the 57 car also in this mix. Will Dunbar giving up that spot. But that got hairy there for a second. Take a look out of the front of Meshkoff's machine as he slips through, following the, moving into that hole that the Black Rifle Coffee Company machine blasted. And that got a little interesting here. We'll go back here and look out of the front of Meshkoff's machine. Look at that. That was almost a wreck right there. These guys did a great job staying out of each other's way. Take a look at this. It's Todd Robillard now closing back in. Closing in here on to 62. So Robillard now getting that spot back. Pavlov now in the 62 car has he's a sandwich. He's the meat in the sandwich now as Paul Brown tried to get by. Paul Brown on the bottom side, saving those tires a little bit. Now going down to the bottom side here, using this opening that Pavlov's going to give him. And a good battle here between Stanislav and the 70 of Paul Brown. Paul Brown pulling off that pass as Stanislav Pavlov in the Chevy. Mr. Rock and Roll back to P4. '88 car Will Dunbar indicating he's coming off the track to make a pit stop here on lap 43. So Will Dunbar, the first car to come down pit lane. As Preston Hassel continuing to lead. So Dunbar on pit lane taking service. We take a look at Will Dunbar in the 11th position. So law seems like it is forever on pit lane when you make a pit stop. Will Dunbar finishing up his pit stop, coming back out on track as Preston Hassel continuing to lead here at Bristol. Robillard in second, Brown third. Stanislav Pavlov in fourth. John Stanley in the fifth position. Take a look at John Stanley in the 12 car, running in P5. Lansbury just behind in the 82 car. Lansbury, we were talking about his night that he had last night. Horrible night for him in the Bushwhacker Series. First to make a pit stop and spun as he crossed pit entry and got it into the inside pit wall. And then had a speeding penalty on top of that and damage to repair. So he had a ton of problems last night. But he slugged it out in the 82, and here he is running in P6 in the Showdown Series. Gordon Carter in the 56 car. He's running in P7 in that Chevy. High place moving sponsor machine. Get some word that Paul Brown is going to be making a pit stop here. Paul Brown. Oh, no! Paul Brown coming off track. He spins. Yellow. And a caution flag comes out. The caution flag comes out. Paul Brown spun, tried to get onto pit lane. Oh, my heavens, man. Drama here with the 70 car on pit lane now as he spins. We got our first caution flag. So Paul Brown spun that machine. Let's take a look at what he did, what happened to him. Take a look at Paul Brown. Here's a replay, and he gets up into the wall just a little bit, maybe coming back across the track there, that elevation change. There is a little bit of a slope there in the straights, but I think he might have gotten into the wall. On board here with him. Now he misses the wall. I think he just loose coming off the turn and then just a little bit too far turned to the left, and the back end broke away from him. Take a look here. He doesn't hit anything, but watch this. I think maybe he's shocked, maybe thought he was going to hit the wall and then overcorrected, and the back end of this car comes around. And fortunately, it doesn't collect anybody else, but unfortunately for the 70 car, is he's got a burden up effort now with being at least on the tail end of the lead lap. So be a self-spin there. So I guess he didn't get any damage. That's good news. He missed the wall. We go back to live here as Preston Hassel on pit lane. Led a lot of laps here tonight. Robillard on pit lane as well. As you see some of those guys finishing up their pit stop. Robillard a long time on pit lane here. Tucks back out, and wow. It's always be a little dicey on pit lane as the 27 comes out ahead of those cars who have pitted. Dunbar back on the pit lane. So a little tape adjustment for some of these guys on the pit stop. '27 Preston Hassel, the leader. Look at that. Tim Lansbury had a lightning fast pit stop. He's up to the second position. Preston Hassel will lead the field to take the green flag. Uderson's up there as well. John Stanley up front. Here's where it gets a little worrisome. Start getting guys bunched back up. Got a rubbered in track.
Green flag,
and a little mix here going on in the field. Preston Hassel gets a good start. Lansbury not on the gas there. Spun his tires, much like what we saw at the start of the race. And now Lansbury has to tuck in as that Black Rifle Coffee Company, number 53, Jim Willis, picks up P3. Good battling here, side by side. You see Robillard and Pavlov on the inside line. Dennis Uderchin up on the outside line with, it looks like actually Gordon Carter's going down to the inside line. He's going to give Uderchin some room to dive down. So now single file here. About Preston Hassel and John Stanley battling. John Stanley in the 12 car. He's now working on the backside of the 27 on board here with John Stanley. Stanley now putting some pressure here on the old man, the 27 car. Stanley right now looking like he wants the right side Twix. And the 27 not giving it to it. Robillard and Uderchin will take a look at this pass. Robillard on the bottom line, getting by Dennis Uderchin.
Yellow.
You got a yellow flag here. Yellow flag as the leader. Going to take the caution flag, and it looks like Lansbury in the 82 is off pace in the middle of the track. So Jim Lansbury's come around. Lansbury lost some positions. Take a look at Lansbury. He's going to lose some positions here. See the 82. He's down on the apron for some reason. Down on the apron, letting these guys go around. I don't know what the deal is with that. And then the car comes around. So that's the flat part of the track, and the car spins. So I'm not sure why he went down to the apron. But Lansbury in the 82, you watch him. He goes down to the bottom side of the track right here, and then trying to carry that speed around the inside, and he comes around. Take a look here as we watch this 82. He spins, a little contact with the inside wall. But wow, that was interesting. On board here with Meshkoff. See Lansbury on the inside and then spins. Meshkoff gets by. Thank heavens he didn't come back up onto the track. Second caution flag. The 53 on pit lane. So the 27 of Preston Hassel is the leader. Preston Hassel, the leader. It looks like John Stanley, man. He's been fast on these restarts here, and he has moved that car up toward the front. .67 laps in. They're kind of weird that Lansbury went down to the bottom line, or went way down to that apron there. I just sort of not sure what happened. Not gotten any word on the radio, but he starts at the end of the longest line. Preston Hassel's been good on restarts, but John Stanley now not giving him that outside. John Stanley, the 12 car, working the outside line here, battling the 27. 27 starting to drift up there a little bit. Oh, Stanley way up the track. Stanley way up the track. He is fighting hard here on this restart. Oh, and he makes contact with the outside wall. John Stanley gets into the outside wall. Get a little bit of run. I don't know if he has damage now, but he is pushing this car to the limit. Preston Hassel fighting back. These guys tooth and nail like it's the last lap right now. Stanley finally gives up the fight, but he might have gotten into the wall. Oh, my heavens, man. John Stanley throwing some staples out on that track. Rod Robillard in third. He had a chance to watch that battle. Wow. That got intense. Now Robillard back up in this mix. Stanislav Pavlov in this mix as well. We'll go back here and watch this battle out of the front of Todd Robillard's machine. A little bit earlier here, that battle between John Stanley. See John Stanley smacking the wall right there. Coming back down, and man, he said, I want this lead. And then finally realized that car is getting a little tight on him. Oh, man, they almost get into one another there as well. Then he finally backs off and lets Preston Hassel have that. So Preston Hassel is the leader. And they're starting to see a battle here for P3, and that is Robillard and Pavlov. Robillard in the 9, Stanislav Pavlov in the 62. Looking out of the back of Robillard's machine, sort of. There we go. Stanislav Pavlov running in the 4th position. Gordon Carter up to P5. See him back there in the 56 car. These guys getting back after it here. Back after it. Gordon Carter, as he's trying to close in on that front 4. He's running in the 5th position. Gordon Carter, one of our newer members to this race league, has been so great at helping out, doing testing, offering great advice, great questions. Very helpful young man. I can say young man because I'm probably older than he is. But he's been very helpful. Checking servers throughout the week and so forth. Look at this battle here, man, as Todd Robillard battling the 12 of John Stanley. Robillard in the 9 was sort of lingering back there. Those guys were fighting it out. Robillard giving it a shot here on the inside. Oh, there's contact! Into the wall, but he keeps it straight. Contact between he and John Stanley. Robillard off the pace on the inside. Oh, my heavens. There was contact between Robillard and John Stanley. Take a look here at the replay. Coming off the turn, it looks like Robillard and John Stanley get together. Robillard does a great job of saving that thing, but he does get into the wall. On board here with Stanislav Pavlov. Take a look at that right there. That's a little bit of a kiss. And John kissing the Hooters. Okay. John Stanley kissing the Hooters. Oh, right there. Just a little bit of a contact. And then the 9 goes into the inside wall. Sorry, that was the low-hanging fruit, so to speak, of jokes to make at that point. That Artem Shuliev joining us? Looked like it. And he's wishing for a Meshkov. So John Stanley now putting a little bit of pressure here on the Twix sponsor machine. Robillard is now back to the 7th position. Dennis Schuderton running in P6 in the 47 car. Good run here for him. We are 89 laps in, approaching halfway. These guys are going to be exhausted after this race. Meshkov, our race leader, our 5th place car. Maybe be the race leader before the night's over. Meshkov in the 57 car. Does a lot of sim racing. Watch his sim racing channel as well. Likes to do a lot of different forms of sim racing. He does a great job of broadcasting as well. I've watched some of his broadcasts. Also, third-party broadcast or for third-party broadcast perspective, as well as from the driver's seat. Right now, here he is, mixing it up with a high Octane Racing League best oval drivers, and he's running in P5. Paul Brown running in the ninth position. He's at the lucky dog position, so he definitely wants to see a caution flag with the 70 car in the lucky dog spot. Jim Willis is the last car on the lead lap in that Black Rifle Coffee Company machine. And he is running in the 8th position. Lansbury also one lap down in the 82. Skyline Chili Ford Mustang. Justin Hassel has about a half a second lead over P2. Take a look at John Stanley, about half a second back. Couple Fords here leading the way. Pavlov, the first Chevy, running in the 3rd position. He's actually starting to put a little battle here, or a little pressure on John Stanley. Out of the front of Stanislav Pavlov's machine, you see the 12, John Stanley drifting up the track. Remember, Stanley's probably got some damage to the outside of that car. Got into the outside wall, trying to get around the leader. And Pavlov starting to work on the back of the 12 car. Pavlov does look like he has a good long run car. Oh man, it is so hard to pull off a pass on that inside. These guys are side by side here, and the outside better coming off the turn. Inside a little bit better through the turn, but coming off, the 12 car has an advantage. Great battling here, side by side. This is a clinic on how to drive somebody here at Bristol. And now John Stanley tucks in. Great clean battle there between the 62 and the 3. That is a clinic in how to race at a short track. Gordon Carter has used that battle between the 62 and the 12 to close in. Meshkoff also here. 3-way battle. 12, the 56, and the 57. All battling for position. John Stanley running in 3rd. Gordon Carter 4th. Meshkoff now battling for that 4th position down to the inside. Alexander Meshkoff trying to get around Gordon Carter. Gordon Carter on the outside as Meshkoff battling him. And he's squeezing into the wall just a little bit. And we're going to start seeing some green flag pit stops. Meshkoff pulls off there as John Stanley comes down pit lane. So John Stanley peels off the track to come down pit lane. Take a look at the 12 car making his pit stop. Preston Hassel still the leader as John Stanley and Todd Robillard both on pit lane. Take a look at John Stanley finishing up his pit stop, coming back out on track as Preston Hassel continuing to lead. Stanley now rejoining the racing surface. He'll be in the 10th position. Preston Hassel, without a doubt, has had the strongest car. He's been able to fight off all challengers tonight for the lead. In 27 car, like I said, he's got a long run car, and it is solid here tonight. Take a look at Will Dunbar running in the 9th position. He is 2 laps down in the 88 car. Will does all of our server work, setting all that stuff up. What Paul Brown's doing the stuff as far as setting up our servers each week, but all the technical stuff comes from Will Dunbar. And, man, he goes way back at HORL as well. He was a 15-year-old joining us to race way back in the mid-2000s. And here he is, as an adult, Dr. Dunbar now, running in the 9th position. Meshkoff and Gordon Carter here now battling it again. Meshkoff to the inside. Gordon Carter does not want to give up that spot, but he does as Meshkoff gets around the 56 car. Alexander Meshkoff now up to the 3rd position. John Stanley on those fresh tires getting around. Preston Hassel not for position, but he does get around Will Dunbar and takes over the 9th position. Gordon Carter now on pit lane. You see Tim Lansbury in the 82 car, now back up to the 7th position. Dunbar also on pit lane. So Gordon Carter finishing up his pit stop, coming back out on track. So on board here with that Gordon Carter, now back to the 9th position. Lansbury in 7th, and Preston Hassel still leading the field. Stanislav Pavlov now taking the lead as our race leader. Preston Hassel comes down pit lane. So Preston Hassel taking some service, giving up the race lead. Stanislav Pavlov is the leader. Preston Hassel in the 27 is on pit lane. And Pavlov peeling off the track to come down pit lane. And that's going to give the race lead to Alexander Meshkoff. Preston Hassel finishing up his pit stop, coming back out on track. Alexander Meshkoff, tons of stock car experience out of this Russian driver. A couple Russian drivers in here with us, Pavlov and Meshkoff. Stanislav messages me all the time, man, and he is a rock and roller, man. And good to see Stanislav out here racing with us. Also Alexander Meshkoff, probably known Alexander the longest of all. And Alexander, always a level-headed guy, man, really is. Doesn't get rattled about anything, and he has got a, looks like a long-run car underneath him right now. Dennis Uderchin running in the 2nd position in that 47 car. And a good 2nd run. 2nd position run for him as now John Stanley wanting to get around on fresher tires. Uderchin going to give him a lot of room on the inside. Not for position, so John Stanley unlapping himself. Tim Lansbury indicating he's going to be coming down pit lane. So now peeling off the track to come down pit lane. As the 82 Skyline Chili Ford Mustang on pit lane. As Alexander Meshkoff continues to lead, 127 laps in. So Meshkoff indicating he's going to be making a pit stop here. So the 57, Alexander Meshkoff, he might have calculated something here that might snooker these guys. He stayed out quite a long time. Led some laps, now coming down pit lane. He's certainly going to give up some track position, but he is off sequence now with some of these other guys. Dennis Unichin now assumes the race lead in the 47 car. Jim Willis is in second. Meshkoff on pit lane in the third position. Obviously, that's going to change as some of these guys cycle around. 82 must be out of gas. He's out on the outside of the pit lane. What's going on with Tim Lansbury? Meshkoff finishing up his... Tim Lansbury is on pit lane, and he's retired his machine. So Lansbury retiring here on lap 131. See Will Dunbar running in P9 in the 88 car. He's had some trouble there, 5 laps down, but he is a little bit off sequence with some of these guys. So keep in mind, Jim Willis and Dennis Unichin, the only 2 cars on the lead lap right now. Jim Willis running in the second position. He's about 5 seconds behind Dennis Unichin, but nonetheless on the lead lap. And he wants a caution flag. He wants to see some of these guys off sequence get trapped a lap down. See, Meshkoff has finished up his pit stop on fresh tires. And this Black Rifle Coffee Company machine is going to let him by. So you see Meshkoff in the 57 getting by. And Ukrainian Nightmare 47. Dennis Unichin coming down pit lane. So good to see Dennis Unichin out here today as well. And he is making a pit stop after leading some laps here at Bristol. But our race leader now is the 53. Jim Willis is our leader. Will Dunbar in the 88 car. Right now running in the 9th position. Paul Brown in 8th in the 70 car, kind of trapped 2 laps down. Again, some of these guys will be cycling back around. So at least he is now trying to work his way back up to the front. As Unichin has finished up his pit stop, coming back out on track, now finds himself back in the 8th spot. 1 lap down. Now Paul Brown is 1 lap down, now in the lucky dog spot. As Jim Willis is on pit lane. So you see the 53 car giving up the race lead. He is on pit lane as John Stanley is the race leader. So Jim Willis getting a refill of coffee. Coming back out on track. See him finishing up his pit stop, and it feels like you're going at a snail's pace here. These guys are going around at full song, so Jim Willis now taking it really easy. Doesn't want to spin as you change that elevation there, and you see those race leaders coming up behind him. He's on a little bit fresher tires, so he could probably maintain that position. John Stanley and Preston Hassel now having a battle here. This is for the race lead. Pavlov in this mix as well, and Preston Hassel clears him. Clears John Stanley, but now Stanley has to tuck in the 3rd position as Stanislav Pavlov gets by. Preston Hassel, the leader. Stanislav Pavlov running in P2. John Stanley 3rd. Gordon Carter 4th. Alexander Meshkoff is in 5th. Check out Gordon Carter here in the 56 car. Just keeps getting better and better each week. Came in with a lot of racing sense, man. You could tell he had raced quite a bit when he joined High Octane Racing League. And he's picked up some things quite quickly as well. Meshkoff here battling with Todd Robillard. Now, Robillard is 3 laps down in the 9th position. Meshkoff down to the inside is on the lead lap in P5. So we have 5 cars on the lead lap. Paul Brown is in the lucky dog position. Will Dunbar coming down pit lane. Here on lap 149. See Will Dunbar making his pit stop in that 88 car. As Preston Hassel continuing to lead. Stanislav Pavlov right there. John Stanley falling off a little bit. Will Dunbar making his pit stop here on lap 151 in the 88 car. Now finishing up his pit stop, coming back out on track. It's going to be interesting to see how these different pit strategies play out as this race continues to go green. These guys are putting on a clinic on how to drive this track. We've had some problems here at the first race with the caution flags. These guys absolutely showing these guys how to drive these stock cars at a very challenging track. Preston Hassel is the leader. Now, Paul Brown is in the lucky dog position in this 70 car. So as long as he sort of maintains that spot, Dennis Udichin is potentially challenging for that. He's about a half a second back to Paul Brown. Take a look at that battle there for the lucky dog position. Paul Brown in it right now. Dennis Udichin wants it in case there is a caution flag. As we begin maybe to see some more pit stops here pretty soon. Long green flag runs. Paul Brown got himself trapped a lap down. But pit sequence could matter here. John Stanley is on pit lane now. And John Staplegun Stanley on pit lane. We go back up here and look at Preston Hassel, the leader. We watch John Stanley finishing up his pit stop. Apologize for the hitching there on the other machine. For some reason that the feed does that. Hopefully got to get a workaround for that or a fix for that here very soon. .161 laps in, Preston Hassel with about a 1.3 second lead over Stanislav Pavlov. Meshkoff about 9 seconds back in the 3rd position. Gordon Carter 12 seconds back. The last car in the lead lap is in 4th. Again, here we go. Gordon Carter coming down pit lane. Here on lap 162. High place moving sponsor number 56 car making a pit stop. Like I said, these guys are on different pit strategies. And look at this, the race leader, Preston Hassel on pit lane. That's going to give the race lead to Stanislav Pavlov. So Preston Hassel, Gordon Carter, both on pit lane. Some different strategies playing out. Look at this, Pavlov coming down pit lane as well. That may give the lead back to Meshkov. And it does. So a lot of drama headed your way here in the closing laps with late race pit stops. On board here with Preston Hassel over on that right side screen. He's finishing up his pit stop, coming back out on track. So Alexander Meshkov in the 57 car in the Ford, leading the field here on lap 168. Paul Brown now back on the lead lap. But remember, off sequence a little bit with pits. He definitely wants to see a caution flag. Jim Willis is in the lucky dog spot in the 53 car. Take a look at Jim Willis, Black Rifle Coffee Company, Chevy Camaro, running in P4. And again, some of these guys have made pit stops. Pavlov on pit lane as we speak. So Stanislav Pavlov on pit lane, and I think he might have sped, as he is now finding himself 4 laps down. So he had to do a drive-through penalty. Speeding on pit lane for Pavlov. Meshkov wants to lead as many laps as he can, but he doesn't want to push it too far. There's that fine line with guys that have already made pit stops. They might be able to make it the rest of the way. Take a look at Todd Robillard running in the 8th position. He is in the 9 car, 3 laps down to the race leader. He had some damage on an earlier incident, right side damage. He had to get repaired on a pit stop. Meshkov, Brown, Udichin, the 3 cars on the lead lap. Jim Willis in the lucky dog position. Preston Hassel, this is something going through his mind. He's like, hey man, I do not want to see a caution flag right now. This has got to cycle around for him. Now Preston Hassel starting to put a little pressure on the race leader. Get one of those laps back. Preston Hassel now 1 lap down in the 5th position. He's got to get to Jim Willis to get to the lucky dog spot. John Stanley running in 6th. He is battling Preston Hassel for that spot. Take a look out into the front of John Stanley's machine in the 12 car. And he is running in the 6th position. Preston Hassel is 5th, and the last car on the lead lap, the 4th place car, is the 53 of Jim Willis. Dennis Udichin having a good night here, running in the 3rd position in that 47 car. This guy's been racing a lot with us here at High Octane Racing League. Last night, raced in the Bushwhacker Series, and it was like 4 o'clock in the morning in Kharkiv. Here on lap 180, he is running in 3rd. Night car of Todd Robillard indicating he's going to be coming down pit lane, so this might be a hint of stuff to follow. Robillard on pit lane here at lap 183. Question is, does Meshkoff have to make a pit stop? So Alexander Meshkoff, gotta wonder if this guy's got to come back down pit lane. Paul Brown on pit lane here in the 70 car. So he has to pit, obviously. Meshkoff and Unichin, the two cars on the lead lap. Preston Hassel says, man, I need to see pit stops out of that front too. He wants to see Jim Willis coming down pit lane as well. These guys stretching it out. Preston Hassel, does he have to make another pit stop? You're looking at about 12, 13 laps to go. Paul Brown with a penalty. Paul Brown, I think, gets a speeding penalty and has to come back down pit lane. A tough break there for the 70 car. Can Alexander Meshkoff make it the rest of the way? Sun is getting low. We might see the lights click on here before the end of this race, but we're closing it down. Oh, man, contact there. Dennis Unichin, contact with the wall. Right in front of the race leader. Meshkoff now slowed up by some traffic here. Meshkoff slowed up. Unichin got into the wall. Pavlov gets by. And wow, that got hairy there for a second. That got hairy. Alexander Meshkoff now on lap 194. Does he have to make a pit stop? You see some cars fresh off pit lane coming back around. And I don't know if Paul Brown has actually served his penalty. Everybody a lap down to Meshkoff, but he might have the secret here. 5 laps to go for Meshkoff. Is he going to be able to squeeze every drop out of this fuel run?
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
Oh, no, we got a yellow flag. A yellow flag. And Unichin might have come around. Dennis Unichin comes around here late in the race. And Jim Willis is going to get the lucky dog, I believe. Late race caution flag. And we saw the 47 car get into the wall earlier. Take a look here as there might have been contact. Might have been contact right there coming off the turn. Looked like the 47 car might have came down on, looks like he came down on the 53. Right there, 53 on the inside line. And then into the wall is the 47 car. One back here with on board here with Jim Willis. And right there, that 47 came down and gets into him. So going back to live. Now, Meshkoff is the leader here, and we're going to have a green-white checker. And I wonder here, does Meshkoff have enough fuel? Meshkoff may not have enough fuel here to do a green-white checker. So a little green-white checker. Oh, we got to figure out where we're going here with this. There we go. Little green-white checker here today. And Meshkoff wondering whether he has enough fuel to make it to the end. And we are too. We're wondering as well. This might be interesting because Jim Willis is going to start in P2. And he might have fresher tires. So the pace car, or is the pace car in? Looks like it is. Get ready to go back green. Green-white checker
Green flag, go, go.
here at Bristol. Meshkoff on older tires and also almost out of fuel. Keep your eye on that 53 car. Just 2 laps to go.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
And we got a yellow flag, and that's going to end it, I believe. That's going to end it. And Alexander Meshkoff will get the win here at Bristol. I think he'll get the win, unless they're going to do it again. Well, I'm going to take a screenshot just in case. It's not exactly the screenshot I wanted to get, but so Alexander Meshkoff getting the race lead and getting the win. Here at Bristol in a wild one, a wild finish. It looked to me like Gordon Carter had come around. Take a look and see what happened here. Gordon Carter got into the last turn, the final turn there it looked like, or actually turn 3, and spun, coming out of 4. So the 57 car, Alexander Meshkoff, getting a weird race tonight, but getting the race win. And look out, he's backing over the stands in victory lane. He knows where victory lane's at. So cool to see Meshkoff in victory lane. As we are flying this thing all over the place. So congratulations to Alexander Meshkoff. and gets the race win. And hopefully maybe we'll get an interview out of this guy today. So what an interesting race. It really was a good race, too. I mean, it was some hurt feelings there maybe, but everybody raced very, very cleanly today. And it was a good race. Let's take a look at the final results. And Meshkoff gets the win at 57 car. Jim Willis sit at 53, finished second. Preston Hassel third. John Stanley fourth. I know Preston Hassel, man, he got snookered on fuel mileage. Gordon Carter finished fifth. Stanislav Pavlov sixth. Paul Brown finished in the seventh position. Dennis Unichin finishes in the eighth spot. Finishing in ninth is Todd Robillard. Will Dunbar finishes in the 10th position. Finishing in 11th, it would be Tim Lansbury in the 82 car. So Alexander Meshkoff gets the win in the green-white checker here at Bristol. And actually, I think we got a better screenshot for him. We might have a better screenshot now that we got him in victory lane. He's the one guy that knows how to get to victory lane, huh? I mean, like legit victory lane. There we go. So congratulations to Alexander. And we'll pop him up in the broadcast booth and get a interview with him. All right, we're joined up in the broadcast booth by Alexander Meshkoff. Congratulations on a great run here at Bristol.
Thank you. It was pretty hard. All the green. I don't know how I managed it. I have only 10% of my tires in the end.
Well, I wondered how you were doing on fuel mileage, too, because it looked like it was a fuel mileage race. Preston Hassel really had a strong car tonight and got caught on a fuel mileage calculation or that fuel mileage game. How was that working out for you?
I start thinking about fuel around lap 100, and it paid dividends for me. I stretch my run until almost dry tank, and from my last pit stop I was sure that I can made it until checkered flag, but when green-white checkered was it caught me because I have only 4 liters left for last laps, and it was enough, just enough.
Yeah, Jim Willis was the only other car on the lead lap. Did you have any worry that Jim Willis on fresher tires was going to be able to pass you before the finish of the race?
I knew that Jim was a lucky dog, and he started at longest line. Because of that, and I was pretty calm about my chances.
Well, congratulations. Always enjoy watching your streams when you do those as well. And, man, a big win here at Bristol. And we appreciate your support. High Octane Racing League, anything you want to say to your Russian fans?
Oh, thank you. Для моих фанатов из России я хочу сказать просто спасибо, что вы смотрите все эти трансляции на High Octane Racing League. Это моя вторая победа здесь. Первая была в Индикаре.
Well, congratulations, Alexander, and good to see you in Victory Lane, and good luck to you if you're racing with us in the GT3 Series next week, and or certainly in the Stock Cars Series 2 weeks from now. Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
It's Alexander Meshkov joining us up here in the booth, and said I've known Alexander for a long time, and good to see him in victory lane, man. I'll tell you what, if you put a beat down on some of these guys, the stock cars aficionados, man, you're really doing something. But we know that Alexander has a considerable amount of stock car experience. That's how I actually met Alexander Meshkov, is racing stock cars. But this guy can actually get in the driver's seat of pretty much anything and make it competitive. And great job to Alexander today here at Bristol Motor Speedway in the Saturday Showdown Series. Don't forget, a little bit later, we'll be at Martinsville Speedway for race number 9 of the season. Actually, I think it might be race number 8. I made a mistake there. It's a 160-lap race in the Saturday Night Thunder. Some great Saturday Night Thunder action. And, of course, that's High Octane Racing League style. And we'd love it if you could join us. Always a fun series, and that is an open setup series, and we share setups with each other, so everything is pretty much equal and on par, and everybody's got a good raceable setup. It's like getting some Alexander Meshkov fans in here as well, chatting it up. It looks like Shuliev. Look at that, Josh Brink. Think of Tim Lansbury today. Mike Schreiner was here as well. Good to see him. GT3 Series will be back in action in this time slot next week. We'll be at Zandvoort. That's coming up at 2 p.m. Eastern Time on March the 11th. It'll be live right here on TurnLeftTV. Tonight's race has been brought to you by EliteHostingUSA.com. If you're interested in an rFactor 2 server, there are 3 self-managed server packages for you to choose from. Also, if you want your website hosted or your online store, VPS hosting, or shared web hosting available through EliteHostingUSA.com. Don't forget to join us over at HighOctaneRacing.net. Quick link to our Discord server. Also, you get to see what the schedule is. Certainly, if you want to go to HighOctaneRacing.net, quick link to our rFactor 2 times, as well as TurnLeftTV. That's going to do it for us tonight. Appreciate you being here. Don't forget to support me by clicking on that subscribe button, sharing my videos with all your friends, and smashing that bell. Click on those links in the description of this race and help us out. Certainly that Extra Life charity, Children's Miracle Network Hospitals charity that we support. And thanks to Will Dunbar for his effort in all of that. And we'll be having a charity race very, very soon, by the way, so keep your eyes peeled. It'll be live right here on TurnLeftTV. Thanks for helping me out here at TurnLeftTV. Share my videos with all your friends. And that's going to do it for us tonight. Congratulations to Alexander Meshkov on getting the win. And that's going to do it for us tonight. I am out of here.